Welcome to Overcoming Fear. We've been talking about the tools people use to control the future and what Jesus had to say about that. Jesus disagreed with people who thought that you could control the future by making God happy. Now, of course, that's not the only way that people try to control the future. Most people focus on controlling the future by making plans and building up financial and practical security. And Jesus points out that those practical methods don't give us security either. In the Sermon on the Mount that we talked about last time, Jesus goes on to spend a lot of time hammering on two different themes. He says, first, we shouldn't do good things to get people to think that we're good. And second, he says that we shouldn't pile up money. Here's an example. Jesus said, "And whenever you fast, do not look dismal like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces to show others that they are fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that your fasting may be seen not by others, but by your Father in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Do not store up treasures for yourselves on earth, where moth and rust consume, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." So, what do saving money and trying to look good have in common? In both cases, we're doing things that make us look better and make us feel better. When we surround ourselves with people who think we're good, it helps us feel like good people. When we pile up savings for a rainy day, we feel like we're safe. But Jesus is trying to tell us that no matter what feelings we can give ourselves, none of that really gives us control of the future. No matter how much money we have, no matter how much wealth we have, no matter how many friends we have, we can't truly keep ourselves safe. Jesus is saying that in the end, he wants to remind us that things are not under our control. And he says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, about your body or what you will wear. Isn't life more than food and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds in the air. They neither sow, nor reap, nor gather food into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Aren't you more valuable than they are? And can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to the span of your life?" Now that gets to the root of the issue. Can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to the span of your life? Nothing we do to maintain our security can really make us secure, and all the energy we put into trying to control the future is wasted. So what's the alternative? Well, it's on our chart already. The alternative to control that comes from fear, the path that flows from love, is acceptance. Now, what does it mean to accept the future? It means that we understand that we don't have control of the world around us, and that we have to be open to whatever happens. Now, some of you are probably thinking, but we need to make plans for the future. Yes, by all means, plan for the future. Make good choices that we hope will produce good outcomes in the future. But remember that plans and hopes are just that, plans and hopes. No matter how much we plan, everything won't turn out the way we planned. And even when they do, we'll have to deal with loss, with pain, with suffering, and yes, with death, because all that comes with life. Acceptance means recognizing that all these things that we don't want are part of the life that we do want. Accepting the future means living in reality. It means living in the reality that we don't know what's going to happen. We can make plans and we can try to make good things happen for ourselves and for the people around us, but we can't ever be certain about what the future will bring. The potential for risk and danger and harm is always out there, no matter how much we do to keep ourselves safe. And so, when we try to control everything around us, when we try to make sure that nothing bad ever happens, we get trapped in a never-ending cycle. People try lots of things to get what they want out of life, different strategies. But whether we try to please God, send good energy into the universe, or even just use common sense to make good decisions, the future will never be certain. That's acceptance, recognizing that we don't know what will happen. Now, when we choose acceptance instead of control, we can experience where we are right now, and we can appreciate where we are right now. It's safe to say that most of the people who spend a lot of time in churches don't hear a lot about acceptance. Maybe if you'd spent time in church, I would suspect you didn't hear a lot about acceptance. I could be wrong. You could, let me know. But messages about accepting the present, all those slogans like "be here now," that's an old one, or "live in the moment," those are really more popular outside churches than inside churches. But that message is a key part of what Jesus had to say, of the message of Jesus. And this is how he put it. Jesus said, "Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring worries of its own. Today's trouble is enough for today." So here's a question for you to consider. What would be different in your life if you didn't worry about security for the future? You can just take a second and answer that for yourself or with the people who are with you. And now, here's an experiment, something to try. Next week, or until before you watch the next video, give away something valuable. Maybe give away something you've made, an object of value, and not something sitting around in your closet that you haven't looked at in 20 years, something that matters. And if necessary, if nothing like that comes to mind, just give away enough money to make a difference in your day-to-day life and see what that experience shows you. We'll see you again next time.